I'm not going to say the same thing for everything that you'll hear me say over the next few minutes, but I do believe one thing is true, and that is that brands are pulling agencies in directions. They're going to force them to move in other directions that are actually dangerous to the traditional online advertising model. An online advertising model that is built upon ad impressions. And I think it's great that we've got new ad formats that have been agreed upon here. That's wonderful. But I do believe that the fundamental underpinning of online advertising impression is in trouble. We'll soon find that connections, and that means a lot of things too. I mean, connections between consumers, connections between brands and consumers, that is where the value will be at. And when brands, publishers get better at figuring out what those connections mean value-wise, answering that question, what's a like worth on Facebook, what's a follow worth on Twitter, what's a conversation worth in a customer service forum, then they'll get better at acquiring more of those, and that's when you see the money start flowing in. There's a very close correlation between direct response and social media, believe it or not. We will pay a certain amount of money, which is usually less than what we value something at, and we will continue to fund that until it stops yielding. If we effectively value connections that we establish through social media, for example, or all media for that matter, we'll continue funding it and more money will flow through. So to kind of sum it all up, engagement models are making progress. They're the kinds of things that advertisers are looking for and encourage you guys as publishers to develop your own. The other thing is you need to be aware of the polarization and marginalization of inventory and embrace this change or completely reconfigure. The platform era is here. So play nicely with others. Every brand is looking for, even if it's gimmicky, a way to plug into their, their Facebook community or their Twitter account, or their community forums or their Salesforce platform. Everything needs to be plugged in and workable with each other, and that includes mobile. Agency evolution is going to impact the definition, the delivery, and the sale of inventory because the demands are coming from other places than media agencies. Other agencies are starting to buy media now. Some places are dabbling in it, but others are actually doing a really good job of it and spurring kind of what we would call creative media practices. And that's something that you have to figure out how to sell to. Finally, we need to effectively define and measure engagement or be left behind. And that's kind of, I issued the same challenges to agencies as I do to the brands that we present to, but it also needs to go to publishers as well.